Hey, welcome back to Minimalist Kitchen. Today we're going to bake a cake. This is some butter I got at the store. It's got like cinnamon and sugar already mixed into it, so it's definitely not healthy, but we're baking a cake, so I don't care. We're just gonna get that butter melted a little bit, so that little tiny skillet I have there is just on the melt setting, and it's just gonna chill out there. Alright, so we're gonna put together our cake ingredients, and this is just a box cake. I'm sure I could throw together some other dry ingredients in this bowl and come up with a cake, but I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to make a cake. So we're gonna stick that in there, and we're gonna crack the egg right into it, and just mix that egg in. And you know what? I think Baby Joe wants to help. He's eating his pickles, but Mom said he knows how to crack an egg now, so let's see how he does. Just crack the egg, Joe. Mom said you can do this. See? Like that. Don't shake the egg. Anytime now. Just crack it. And nah. Yeah, I know he's eating pickles straight off the counter, but whatever. It's clean. What makes a clean counter any different than a clean plate? So anyway, we're gonna put that last egg in there and a little bit of milk. Uh, I think it's at a cup of milk. I'm just gonna do maybe that much milk. That should work. Why not? And then we're just gonna mix it all together using that oak spatula, which, by the way, is no longer for sale at our online store because they break all the time. So I need to make a new spatula, and then we'll put that one up on our online store. And now we add that butter, and this is why you don't follow the recipe on the back of the cake box, because the recipe just said to use milk and eggs. It didn't even say to use regular butter, let alone cinnamon sugar butter, and that's just gonna make all this better. So butter makes it better. And then we add some fruit. This fruit came from like the bottom shelf at the grocery store. Down at the bottom of the shelf in the canned food aisle, I usually find they have like higher quality fruits. But this looks like trash. I was disappointed. So anyway, we take our cheap fruit salad mix, put it at the bottom of a hot cast iron pan, and then we dump these raspberries on. And this is a lot like a pineapple upside down cake. If you've ever made a pineapple upside down cake, that goes on first, and then you just dump the batter on top. But what's going to make this good, just like we added more butter, we're going to add more sugar. Again, is this healthy? No. Is this minimalist? Probably not. I don't think we really need all this sugar and butter. But is it a really good cake in a minimalist kitchen? Yeah, that's the point of this. This is going to be delicious. All right? Plus, somebody on Reddit said they wanted to know how to make a cake in a cast iron skillet without all the baking and measuring and stuff. And I don't know. I guess this will do it. I made a cake in a cast iron skillet. So you can see that skillet's hot. You're letting that sugar get all warm and gooey, and I don't know what it is. You heat up the sugar and it makes it better. You let it simmer a little bit. You see, it's only been on there for a couple minutes. That's all it really takes. And then we're going to dump this batter in, and it sits right on top. And it's not going to take that long to cook because this cast iron skillet is so hot, it's already cooking. It's cooking as we put it in the pan now. So the cooking process is basically started. We're just going to dump it in there, and we're going to kind of smooth it all out. It's also a relatively thin cake. There's not a whole lot of batter, and I used this really wide pan. If you used a smaller pan, like if you used a 10-inch pan, you're going to have a deeper cake, and that's going to take longer to cook. This big wide cake, that thing's pretty thin. It shouldn't take too long. And now we're going to take this whole thing, and since it's cast iron, the handle and everything, the entire thing goes straight into the oven. And you'll see I have pizza bricks in there. I just store those in there, and I leave them in there all the time. It takes a little bit longer for the oven to preheat, but once the oven gets preheated, that brick helps it kind of maintain its heat. And it's way better than having a regular rack. Later, I might put that cake, if I find it's too close to the top, I might take it out and put it in between. So I got to put it on the bottom rack, but that'll put it in between those two pizza bricks in there, and it'll make it for a really good, even cook all the way through. I keep saying cook. I'm baking a cake. I should say the word bake. Anyway, the dishes are already done. It's only been a couple minutes. And, nope, not yet. Let's see, we'll give it a few more minutes. Nope, not yet. What I'm looking for is, I don't want it to feel sticky, and I don't want it to feel mushy. I want it to feel springy. It's getting there. It's been about 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. Let's see. There it is. That's what we want. Springy cake. So we pull it out, and we're going to kind of check the sides to make sure it didn't stick too much. It should release from the pan really easily. If it sticks at all, which it shouldn't, you can really lightly take a butter knife in there to kind of just break it apart. But that's the cool part about cast iron skillets, is it shouldn't stick at all. Here's the moment of truth. We're going to flip it. If it's a good cast iron skillet, you shouldn't have a problem. We're going to give it that little shake just to kind of make sure it all released from it. Lift it up, and we have a perfect upside down fruit red velvet cake thing. And now, while this pan is still hot out of the oven, we're going to take the opportunity to clean it off real good. Remember, this is hot water. I've had this hot water running for a minute or two, getting it nice and hot. Hot water on cast iron is going to be just fine. Cold water on cast iron is not good. It's going to warp it. It's going to maybe take off too much of the seasoning. And but that's really all you got to worry about, is get your water hot, use a hot pan, and this stuff comes right off. And then we're going to get it dry, and it's going to go right back onto a medium heat on the stove right away. We're going to we want that thing as dry as possible. We can wipe it out with a rag, and then the hot pan's going to evaporate the rest off of it. Once it's completely dry, it's going to still be hot. We're still on medium heat. That's when we hit it with the oil. So dry, hot pan, covered with oil, turn off the stove, and then I'm going to put it into the still hot oven. The oven's off, but we're just going to put it in there, and that whole thing is going to cool down slowly all together, and it's going to season it up just right. And now, of course, here we get to watch little Joe try out some of this cake we've made. If he likes it, it's been a success. And remember, if you want to, support the channel, stop by the Minimalist Kitchen store and buy a cast iron skillet, a cutting board, just Not one of those spatulas yet. Those spatulas keep breaking. Don't buy those. Thanks for watching. Check out one of these other videos over here that YouTube thinks you would like. And then over there on that other side, that's one of my current favorite dishes from some other YouTube chef. So hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and have a great day.